But I think it's time for the Alivast Oracle, guys.
Let's scroll on down.
Dun, 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 dun. New at Beacon Theater, fighters from another land. Meet warriors from distant lands and hear their stories. 3 golds per ticket. One's got to be the Macho Man.
Oh yeah, the Macho Man.
So I don't even know what was happening. And all I knew is I just kept doing the drugs and the drugs and the drugs. Can I
Alivast, yeah.
Can I get Octo? Can I get you to read Minotaur enters local porcelain shop? Chaos ensues.
Yes. Where can I see this?
I am gonna. Ooh.
Okay.
Can you get him a link real fast? I'm on this bad.
Yeah, I got him.
There's an interview with Helena.
Oh, I got it. Minotaur enters local porcelain shop. Chaos
Go
ensues.
for it. Go for it.
Okay. You want me to read it in character or just?
Do whatever you want, man.
Okay. A quiet afternoon at Perrier Pastel's porcelain pottery and plate sets turned quite crazy as catastrophe struck in the form of a massive Minotaur missionary in the market for a miniature to-go tea set. The Minotaur, Paladin Asterios Maskin of the Avon clergy, is renowned for his blunt nature and love of making new friends. After spending the day giving out business cards or passing stranger advertising both his crudely written name as well as simple text, "Be my friend," the friendly fellow found himself to be a parched paladin and wished for a spot of tea. Instead of entering one of the city's many tea-serving establishments, he wandered to the nearest shop with a large window and noticed teacups. Upon entering Pastel's, Paladin Maskin's large horns came in contact with the glass window next to the door, shattering it instantly as he was quite excited. Startled, he began turning and stumbling, hitting display after display of fine pots, vases, even #1 dyed coffee mugs. Each crash of porcelain startling him more until he was yelling, running in circles. Bystander Bertha Billagog says the poor boy was just apologizing left and right as he slammed in anything potentially breakable in the whole store. By the end of it, he was in a frenzy and simply charged away. And charged he did right out of the store and through the neighborhood via Minotaur-shaped holes as he left in all of the walls that were in his way. The estimated damages looked to be quite the pretty penny, and the Avon clergy has yet to make a comment. Paladin Asterios Maskin was last seen running through a stable in the lower crafting district. There you go.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let's head on down. The ban on smirk sticks. Oh, boy. Letters to the Lady of Livrosea. Can I get you guys to read these two? I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I'm like actually.
No,
really
I got
exhausted.
you.
Sure thing.
You want to take this one, dude?
Sure.
Okay. Go
One should play the person, and the other should play the lady.
I'll play the lady. It's generally what I'm known for, and you can be the writer.
Oh.
So you read first, and then I read second.
Oh, okay. The as of the past week, that one.
Hmm.
Is the as of the past week?
It's the letters to the letters to the Lady of Livrosea.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, here it is. Dear lady, I've been feeling a little lonely and wanted some companionship. I'm not single, and while my family is nice, but not much for conversation, my problem is that I really struggle with some of the cultural differences in Alivast, and I'm a bit of a loss when it comes to interacting with some people. I struggle with misgendering people, and that doesn't seem to do me any favors. The culture here is so strange to me, and I sometimes wonder if I'll ever be able to adapt. I've invited people over to my place for tea, but so far, not any takers. Even the people I work with don't seem to warm up to me very well. Any advice? Signed, Fish Out of Water.
It's funny because this is a character we know.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a character called Moidos, who is an anglerfish triton.
Oh, okay.
She's very
Fiend-
strange.
Yeah, the females are humanoid looking,
Mhm.
grotesque sort of monster people, and the males are like blobs.
Right, yeah, they're like anglerfish. Oh, okay.
So she doesn't really know what males of other species look like.
Sure.
Dear fish out of water, I love you. Lots of people are a little thrown off by the variety of different cultures in Alivast, but we can overcome, and it's these differences that make this such a wonderful place to live. One thing you can do is to maintain a cheerful and pleasant demeanor. Always wear your brightest smile, letting people know that you are approachable and friendly can't hurt. Also, it sounds like you're on the right track with inviting people over. Keep trying and don't get discouraged. Sometimes it's just a matter of scheduling. Don't discount paying others a visit too. Another thing that can help connect others with others is family. You mentioned you have a partner, so maybe that could be a bridge to others. Keep trying. I'm sure you'll catch a friend.
Yuck, 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 yuck. Okay, so then I do the bookworm one next.
Yeah.
Dear lady, I work at a small little bookshop in the lower crafting district. Lately, there has been a newcomer to the shop, and he's got my attention. He's tall, red, covered in scars, and has that bad boy aura surrounding him. A few times, he's scared a couple of the regulars out of the shop. I don't know his name, and he never really talks. But we do have the same taste in romance novels, the really steaming ones that we have to keep away from the wee ones. My question is, what is the best way to approach him? The newest novel comes out later this week, and he'll be in, and I want to really want to see if we click is all. Skittish Bookworm.
Dear Skittish, I love you. Having a shared interest is a good way to start off a relationship. Maybe when the gentleman comes into the shop, you can strike up a conversation and suggest some books. Or better yet, ask him his opinion on what he's read. Listening to his thoughts and letting him feel comfortable sharing them is a great way to get to know him better. This also lets you learn a little bit more about him and decide where a new relationship might go. Reciprocate with your own thoughts and don't dominate the conversation. Gushing about something you think someone else might enjoy is a bad way to begin. A few leading questions might be all that you need to get him gushing about what he enjoys, and then you're halfway there. P.S. You already know my mailing address.
Okay. Dear Lady of Livrosea, I've been increasingly worried about a friend of mine. They've been struggling off and on with depression and anxiety, and lately they've really withdrawn. We used to talk a lot, but they've been communicating less and just aren't interested in doing much of anything anymore. And I'm worried. I really care about them, but I'm not sure what to do with them. What to do to help them. It's really exhausting to deal with them sometimes, and I feel like I'm putting too much effort for nothing. I don't want to abandon them, but nothing I do seems to really help. Sign, Concerned Companion.
Dear Concerned, I love you. Your love for your friend. Oh shit, hang on. Your love for your friend is laudable, but I understand how hard it can be to pour a lot of care into someone who seems immobile in their place of darkness. It hurts to say, but we can't fix everyone. No matter how hard we try or how much we love, we can't heal them. The best thing to do is to gather support around them. Temples of Illinois have resources and clergy who specialize in helping provide clarity and peace of mind. They may be able to help, encourage your friends to speak to them. Also, simply being present in your friend's life can make a difference. Don't shut them out, even if they're shutting you out. Keep inviting them to activities. Keep talking to them. Keep letting them know you appreciate your relationship. But don't beat yourself up for not saving them single-handedly. We can point the way, and we can hold the light to guide them. But people need to use their own 2 feet to walk the path.
True. True.
It's true. True.
Awesome.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Good to move. Apparently, there's an interview with Helena.
Ooh.
I like the Shaka Bro one.
Shaka, bro. You want to read it?
Oh, yeah.
I will be right back.
A new sport has started gaining traction among the Alivastian youth this spring, as teenagers are now beginning to go to the coast and riding planks of wood along the waves. No one was able to answer definitively who exactly shared the sport, but all those interviewed said the sport was super sweet, brah. The sport consists of swimming out into the sea and waiting for the wave to start forming, and the objective is to catch and ride the wave. One wave rider described this one wave he wrote as totally tubular. There has to be a significant development of slang amongst the wave riders. The slang has also been accompanied with an attitude of being relaxed and chill. The mortal warriors of Alivast have made outcries against the wave riding as being detrimental to the minds of Alivast youth. One member of this group, Demreal Sharptooth has this to say. This so-called sport promotes a culture of laziness and degrades the language of our children, blah, blah. After multiple interviews, all wave riders denied that this sport has any detrimental effect with them and concluded the interview saying, "Shaka, bro," while doing a hand gesture with their thumb and pinky. That's all, dude. There you go.
That's good, dude.
You know? Yeah, thanks. This is so cute. There's like a whole, like, there's like even like a little crossword.
Yeah,
Terrible.
dude. Yeah, there's crossword puzzles. So this is Octo's first time ever seeing this. This is made by the fans.
That's so cool. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Amusing musings. Conversation skills. Thumbs up between the two of them. That's really good. Apologies for the just the massive energy drop, guys. It's been a very long weekend.
It's fine. I totally understand. Plus, you're away from home, so
God,
I'm sure you're ready to.
in the shadow of the
return.
sun.
So cool.
The first article is the one that features Helena. Like, amazing props to guys. So this is, I might ask Connor to read this, actually. When he gets back.
Oh, sure. Shortenly.
Certainly.
So neat.
Holy crap. You mean chill stream to lo-fi beats to chill and relax to?
Oh yeah, I was just doing a painting stream, and I was just listening to classical music, and it really helped
Oh hell yeah, man.
reduce the anxiety.
You been anxious lately?
Yeah, just in general. But like, just sometimes when I focus in on something that I really enjoy doing, it tends to distract.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I picked up 40K again, so I'm working.
Oh
on painting
no.
the model. Oh yes.
Who you playing?
Oh, Necrons. I can never play anybody else
Why not?
because I'm playing Necrons since 4th edition.
Oh man. Oh, you mean back when like, hey, let's just make a team too powerful. Wasn't like the original? Wasn't like one of the main guys in charge admitted he intentionally made Necrons overpowered because he thought that they were so cool?
Well, so for a long time they were just they didn't have an army book.
Yeah.
They were in the whatever they were called, like wandering hordes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when they finally gave them the army book, like everything was way too powerful. Like pariahs made anything within, I think it was like 8 inches of them have leadership 7, even if it was normally higher than that.
It's ridiculous.
They were just insane. They were so crazy.
Also, they kept coming back to life. That was what drove me nuts.
They still have that.
I'm guessing there's a limit to that now, though.
No, there isn't. It's actually better.
Are there do their point costs at least go up?
Some of them, yes.
Good.
But so the way it works is if there's any unit that you have that's missing models, at the start of your turn, you roll a dice for each model, and then on a 5 or higher, they come back.
So a chance
and
of 1 in 3.
You can improve that too.
Oh, okay.
And so they are still very, very they're not as good as they were last edition, but they're still okay. But yeah, I've always been a huge fan of Necro. I gotta always them, not the boys.
It's man, I've been reading a lot of the books lately. I actually picked up the first 3 omnibuses of Gaunt's Ghosts.
Ooh, nice.
I'm almost done the first book now, and
Nice.
it's been good going back to that. I actually listened to the audiobook for the first. Oh my god!
How are the audiobooks?
Depends which ones you're listening to. The audiobooks for the Eisenhorn trilogy is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. And the one I listened to recently, let me just check it here. It's on my Audible. Let me pull up on Audible. This is not sponsored by Audible, guys, but I would like to. Caiaphas Cain. Have you ever checked out those books? Okay, that's... I'll say that Caiaphas Cain essentially is the only comedy character in Warhammer. Imagine if Blackadder was a commissar.
What?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not
I mean,
kidding.
it's not that far of a stretch. I like it.
No, it's a Blackadder who's a commissar. The thing is, he's a famous war hero for one reason. One time when we were fighting against the Tyranids, he was running from a pack of Tyranids. He ran through like just an area being bombarded by basilisks, and he survived. And the thing is, you're such a hero for dragging those, really being willing to sacrifice your life to try and defeat for trying to defeat the Tyranids, and you're willing to sacrifice everything, and you lived. You're a hero. He was just running because he was scared shitless.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, sure, yeah, everything's great.
So now he has this big reputation of being a war hero, so he gets all these promotions and opportunities, and he intentionally, because the books are written from the perspective of when he's dying on his deathbed, he just decided to write out his memoirs. So he admits, in this situation I was a coward, and the last thing I want to do is be near trouble, let me tell you. So he intentionally tries to avoid trouble, but because of that, because he's so paranoid, he sees schemes everywhere and he catches them. And in the books, there's actually there's addendums written by an actual inquisitor that worked with him. And his trustworthy aide Jurgen, sir, there appears to be a problem. Nonsense, Jurgen!
It's totally just his little assistant or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's low key supposed to be Blackadder in space, but Baldric. Jurgen's essentially Baldric, but he's a blank.
Sure.
So that's why all these situations where he should have died or been hunted by psychers, he just always got away. He didn't know why.
Yep.
Because his aide Jurgen was a blank, and it's funny as shit. It's Captain Runaway. He actually, one of his secret techniques is he just runs away.
I should read more of the 40K books.
No, definitely check out the first Caiaphas Cain if you're looking for an audiobook, dude. It's worth it just because it literally is just Caiaphas Cain dealing with a political intrigue with the Tau. It starts off really simple.
Oh, nice. I always wanted to read the Gotrek and Felix books from fantasy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah. Because I was always more of a fantasy guy, and then I got more into 40K once fantasy ended.
Like, 40K has been a lot of fun. The books there's so many good books. Joseph Joestar's secret technique. There's actually a flow chart. Is it Gene Stealers?
It's always Gene Stealers.
Let's look at the flow chart. Is it Gene Stealers? It might be Gene Stealers.
Well, according to the flow chart, it says it's probably Gene Stealers.
Someone actually says, like, Resland says, regardless of how Caiaphas Cain presents himself, he does tend to act heroic in the end, even if it's sometimes simply because he has no other choice. I will say this, because if you want to know what this is, guys, because I'm waiting for Connor to get back here. Sorry. Caiaphas Cain for the Emperor. I will type out here how to say him. It is... Take me a while. Oh my God, I already fucked up. There we go. Yeah, Caiaphas Cain, and it's just priceless. At one point, they're running from something, and he just like at this point, I stopped trying to look good about it. I was running for my life, like extreme face.
Just like booking it.
No, it's just you know that anime reaction where someone's like running really quickly towards the panel, with this like I'm gonna fucking die thing, and that's literally what it is.
Sure.
And he's a commissar, and he at one point I read a review about it. The thing about Caiaphas Cain is he says he's a coward and always tries to avoid this shit. He might be completely accurate, or he might actually suffer from possibly the worst case of imposter syndrome ever, and is in denial about his own heroicism. And I'm like, that might be the best way of describing it.
He's actually heroic, but
too much of a he thinks he's too much of a coward. All right, I'm gonna read this Helena review, guys. I was waiting for Connor, but Connor looks like Connor has got something coming up here. So, oh God, no way!
Did you summon him?
I summoned him.
Oh my God,
Connor, can you do one favor for me and read one last one?
Absolutely.
Can you read In the Shadow of the Sun, the interview with Helena?
Where is it?
It's the top of the page. It's the big one.
Oh, the big one.
Yes, please. I love you. But it's Helena, and I feel like you have context of it.
Okay.
Shadow Dancer Bob,
the
100
shadow-
bits. You know, sitting here thinking about it, I love to see Zenria face to face with a man of black and white, and just watch that interaction. That would be wild. Sage the Omni
He's
Geek with
too
100
fucking
bits.
cheerful. He's too cheerful.
If there is a Duck Crew Season 2, bring Octopimp in, don't even think about it. We actually did a Warhammer one month.
Oh, nice.
We were a bunch of orc
Yeah.
boys.
Oh, of course.
Orktober.
My character's name was Ah. It was 5 A's, and he had one half of his brain was big. He was a psyker. And he had a pet squig with a tiny face called Small Face.
Did you have any grots?
We had one grot.
Nice, nice.
One grot. His name was redundant.
His name actually was redundant. And
Nice.
he had an orc pistol that he shot like a cannon. And he would fly back when he used it.
Right,
Yep.
of course.
All right, read us
He
away.
actually got the.
Hmm?
He got the final hit on the last boss.
He did it. Which, by the way, Connor, do you have that image? Because guess who's starting up his Necron army here in this chat?
Oh, I sure do have that image. I'll get it to you in a bit.
You got to see what we fought at the end of the crew. You won't believe it. All right,
I'd love
Connor,
to
please
see
take us away.
In light of rising tensions with the country of Periton, the Alivast Oracle has reached out to the citizens of the city for those who would be willing to speak on experiences and accounts with life in Periton. What follows is an exclusive interview with a cleric who escaped the much-maligned United Clergy, offering a peek behind the curtain at the inner workings of Periton's governing power. All right, to start, would you please tell us your name and how you served in the United Clergy? Is it all right if I don't? A lot of this is hard to talk about, and I prefer if people who knew me didn't know some of the things I've seen or was party to. Oh, certainly. That's your right, but you do realize that if you're anonymous, it might raise suspicion as to your veracity. I do, but please, I'd rather just not. They can just know that I used to be a cleric. All right, fine. We'll call you Miss O, then. We'll start with some easy questions. Have you heard some rumors in Alivast about how the United Clergy view some of the more abstract races? Could you speak on those? The more, like kobolds and orcs. I'm sorry, I didn't understand at first. A lot of it is true, yes. Part of why I didn't understand is because it's still a bit hard for me to think of them as races. It's not that they're terrible at all, of course. Some of my best friends now are gnolls and kobolds. But we're taught from an early age by the clergy that each of those races are lesser in some way to the more humanistic ones. Like they aren't even worthy of being considered a proper race. Could you elaborate on that point, please? Yes. So, some races had certain qualities attached to them. Kobolds and gnolls are, of course, seen as disease carriers, and there's literature on gnolls blaming them for the kidnappings of children. Orcs are violent brutes, Kenku are untrustworthy, and tieflings are considered even worse than drow with their heritage. It sounds vile saying it now, but that was common knowledge. We had drilled into us when we were all children. Excuse me for saying this, but that doesn't really put the people of Periton in a good light. Does it occur to them that what they're doing might be viewed poorly by other races or nations? No, I don't know how to say this. They aren't bad people. I've had so many friends who I laughed and cried with in Periton. I think that's the hardest part to wrap my head around. That up to a certain point, or at least until I saw what life was like outside of Periton, it felt normal. It felt like life was the way it should be. But then I got out, and I actually found out how oppressive it was. I'm here out under the sun, and there's so much life that feels so right, and so many people who are so happy to be doing all the things I was told were wrong all my life. I go out at night, and sometimes miss the hour of prayer and observation during midday, and nothing bad has happened. No one has punished me. No one has taken me to a paladin to be corrected, or... There was a brief pause as Miss O collects herself. As a cleric, we don't have a lot of choice for ourselves. We are chosen and placed with a paladin, and we are told that our lives are intricately connected with them, and from that moment on, we follow their orders. We heal who they tell us to, use magic when they tell us to, and strike down who they tell us to. We were even told that we may need to use our bodies as shields to shield the paladin from harm so they can do their holy work. And so long as we're doing what we're told, it's all very normal. But the moment we step out of line, I can't tell you exactly how sickening it feels to have these people you're supposed to trust, people who will heap praise on you when you're worthy or act as friends, and see them just twist when you do something wrong. Like you're completely distinct from the person you were and just a thing now that needs purification. And is this allowed by the leadership in Periton? Not just allowed, enforced. And I don't think anybody outside the clergy even knows that this is happening. We were barely allowed to interact with any normal citizens after we were taken in. It was so isolating. I think in the time I was there, I was only allowed to write barely a handful of letters to my parents, and I didn't even get to deliver them directly. I don't even know if they got them, because I never got any letters back. Being unable to break out like that, where all you see and all you hear all day is the clergy and their rules, I'm very sorry to hear that. It sounds like you've been through a lot. Would you like a moment to yourself? No. I'm all right. I need to talk about this. All right. Then I'd like to ask some questions about your life as a citizen next. Continued on page 5.
That was amazing, Connor.
Thank you. One Piece cries.
Birds of a feather, wax together, strong mustache wax. Dig for victory, grow your own vegetables. Alivast City Council. Fight of the Century. Dr. Ginetta Jazome of the Nerazim Collective versus Professor Keegan Fogg of the Nomarian Institute of Theurgy. Debate the National of Thaumaturgical Energies in a Matrix of Polymorphic Particles. 5 p.m. this Tuesday at the Alum Library. No academic holds barred. Fuck yeah. That sounds good shit.
I got front row seats.
Fight of the Night. Leviathan Energy Potion. Fight the Night. Leviathan Energy Potion. Crabbers needed. Contact Alivast Fisherman Guild in the docks. Look for the sign with the salmon. And this and all these wonderful games were provided by these amazing people. The Threadweaver, Gavin Gregory SU1, Kyrie Ryan 1, Saichi Evie, Froggy's Mom, Junt Bonington, Rylberg, Data Do Discord, Suit 47, Night Hunter 66, and Jim the Rabid Cow. Guys, thank you so much for all the amazing stuff that you have developed for this. I do apologize, my energy was really low tonight here.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.